need to make a little more progress on this basket of shred. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Melinda, plain and simple. It's Tuesday, and that means it's time for another Tiny Tidy. For today's Tiny Tidy, I am going to be in my office doing a little tidying up and hopefully finding a few things that I can declutter. If you've got anything that you want to tidy up, clean, declutter, or organize around your house, grab your stuff and come on, and we'll do this together. When I decluttered in my office, I put this shelving unit over here in the corner by my desk, but I didn't realize until after I already had all this stuff in here that I had put it in backwards. And I have not taken the time to pull it out and turn it around. But you know what? Today I'm going to do that. I'm going to take all this stuff off, dust it really well, because I don't know if you can tell, but it is a little bit dusty. And turn this thing around, vacuum under it, and also I'm going to go through this little stack of papers here. This is something that I pull out and use pretty much daily, but I don't want it to get out of control. So I'm going to look through there and see if there's anything that I can declutter. And I think I'll feel a whole lot better just knowing that that shelf is facing the right direction. If you want more inspiration and motivation, click on the playlist. I'll have a link in the description box below. And I'll also have a link to Sunday Dawn's channel, The Helpful Home. She is the host of Tiny Tidy Tuesdays every week. Let's go ahead and get started working on this pile of stuff. So while I'm at it, I'm going to be watching the Tiny Tidy playlist. See, there's when I did Easter. Kimmy wanted me to do an Easter one. That's been in here a while, huh? Yeah, there's the one for the clock. That is all going to go over here into the shred. Hey guys, look at that. I know this is just a laundry basket full of paper, and actually at one point it was filled to overflowing. But look at that space in there. I've spent a little time shredding this. I've done big jobs, I've done little jobs, but recently I decided to just go with 3 bags full. Instead of looking at this basket and feeling overwhelmed by the fact that I want to and need to get all of that shredded, now I just look at it and go, you know what? I'm going to do 3 bags full. And now I come over and I spend a few minutes, I shred 3 bags, and I'm done. I don't feel like I need to get it all finished at once, but I'm making progress because I'm breaking it down into little chunks. If you've got a big job, something that feels overwhelming, see if you can break it down into smaller bites, and maybe you'll get it done, instead of it just sitting here taunting you by being a big job. It's no longer a big job. Now, it's just my 3 bags full. Are you going to help Mommy? Yes, Pumpkin and I are in here in my office again because I have not finished this Tiny Tidy. Does it ever take you days or even a week or two to finish a simple Tiny Tidy? Because that's what's happening to me right now. I got a little bit done, but I didn't finish it. It's time for me to get this office area tidied up and finished. Before I start moving all the things off of this shelf, I'm going to wipe down my desk. I've already wiped down my computer, opened it up, cleaned the inside, the screen and everything, and wiped down the outside, including underneath. I just used a damp microfiber cloth, and then I had a second one so that I could make sure that it was dried off. I've moved the table over a little bit so I can vacuum, but meanwhile I wiped the whole table down, all the legs and everything, and the chair, and my little footstool. Now it's time for me to start moving this stuff over, but before I do that, I'm going to take a quick picture, so if I decide I want to put things back exactly as they are right now, just in case I forget what it looks like, I'll have a picture that I can use as reference. As I took things off, I went ahead and wiped them down. That way, if they had any dust on them, I wasn't carrying it over onto my desk. But I was also identifying some things that maybe I'm ready to let go of. One thing I have is this Harry Potter thing. This is the cover to the I don't know if it's right there it is. That little pad of paper looking stuff right there. That's actually the calendar that I took out of this. And I've been using the back of that the calendar pages as scrap paper. And I had intended to save this and use it maybe to do a junk journal or something. But when I picked it up, I noticed that every time I open it, it's making this weird crack sound. I don't think that would be very fun for a junk journal. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and let it go. And also this, I just have this little, one of these little stress things sitting in there. And I thought I might put things in it, but it's just been empty and gathering dust. So I'm going to go ahead and let that go as well. Now, as I'm putting the things back on the desk, I'll see if there's anything else that I want to either relocate or maybe I don't need to keep it next to my desk anymore. But for now, next step is to use my microfiber cloths again and wipe down this dust. I think you can see it in the camera there in the video. See, there's some dust on all of these shelves, I'm sure. I put my chair and my desk back into place, and I've started putting the things back on my shelves, the things that I know I want to keep. Well, as it turns out, I didn't have it in backward. It looks pretty much the same on both sides, but this is the front. So I've been worrying about that all this time for no reason. I have things in these boxes that I use almost daily, and then I have my pencil sharpener here. I don't use that very often, but when I do use it, I don't want to have to go looking for it, so I just keep it here, and I put that pretty little box in front of it so you can't see it very easily. But now I've got to go through my other things and see what I really need to keep. Now I do use this a lot. This is just a little planter. But I was going to declutter it, but I thought, hey, that might be handy for a little pencil holder, pen and pencil holder, and that way I wouldn't overfill it. And that has worked out really nicely for me. It keeps me from putting too many in there. And then I have this coaster. I do use that. Sometimes I have something here at my desk and I put that on the coaster. Now this is a little thing, and it's got some Bible verses in it. And I was going to put it at my desk and maybe read one every day. But I put it at my desk and then it just sat here. So I've tried that at different things. I think when I first got it, I did use it, but I think ever since then, I've had this for years. And I've had it by my bed, I've had it by my desk, I've had it different places, and I just never remember to open this up and read them. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and let it go. Because the last time when I moved it in here, I gave myself one more chance. And I read a few because it was like, okay, well, I'll catch up for the year, you know. Because I think there's supposed to be one for every day of the year in here. And I read a few to catch up for the year and then didn't do any more. So I'm gonna let this go. So here's my container with things that I'm letting go of. I like the cover of this book. It's pretty. It's called The Storyteller, and I write, and I love purple and I love roses. But if you can tell by the cover, it's a pretty gruesome story. And so, I don't know, there's kind of like this, I love the cover, it's very pretty and peaceful, but the story inside is not at all. So I've kind of gone back and forth on this one, you know, like, do I want to keep it just because I love the font on it, I love everything about that cover, but that story is so awful, or like gruesome. I don't know. I think I should just go ahead and let it go. Not have any bad vibes at my desk, right? And then this I found at at the thrift store, and I don't know if it was good. I think it was a Goodwill, and I just think it's really pretty. Somebody painted it. You know, it's still got the sticker from the Goodwill on it, But somebody painted that, and I just thought it was just beautiful. And so I had brought it home and put it here in my office. So I think I will keep that because I don't know, just something about that. I just love it. So I'm going to keep it. And then I have my little box of Kleenexes here. I haven't had to use many of them lately, but when I was sick recently, I had to use up a bunch of my Kleenexes. So I'll stick this back down here. Keep that handy because you just never know. You might sneeze. It is that time of year where the allergies kick in, and I have had that. Now, this is something that I made, and so I'm going to keep that here at my desk. My favorite color is purple. I kept this because I write in it. I write little notes and things in it, and I think it's really cute. So I have kept this. I've had it laying down here, but since I've taken that book out, I think I'll put it up here because I just think it's really pretty. It just makes me happy. And then this is our old radio. We had this, I used it as an alarm clock. I use my phone for the alarm clock now, but I put this in here because it has a cassette player, and it's the only way that I have of playing our cassettes. And so I'm going to keep that. I'll put it back down here in the bottom where it was on the desk. Now I want to find another pretty box of some sort that I can put here on the shelf, and for that I want to be able, I want it to be big enough that I can put these things in it. These are the papers, notes, anything like that that I'm currently working on, and that way they would be in a pretty box instead of just laying here in an ugly folder. I can get a prettier folder. That was just what this paper was in. But I have been keeping the things up here, but then I have to move that every time I want to grab that box out, and I grab that box out every day. I actually have my blood pressure thing in there, so I need that handy. But yeah, this will be fine here right now, and that maybe will remind me that I want to look around for either a pretty tray or a pretty box similar to this type of thing. It doesn't have to even match them. As you can see, I have some pretty ones over there as well. So something along those lines I want to get for over here. Maybe I'll find something on sale, and I'm not in any rush, so that's something I can just kind of look around for. And see, maybe we want to put this little guy back here somewhere. I don't want to get too much stuff on my shelf. So that shelf right there, I think I will, those two, I think I'll kind of work on those and make them a little bit more pretty. But for now, at least they're cleaned off and wiped down. And these things, I don't need to have them by my desk, so they can all go. And this needs to go in. I put them in a baggie and make a little label to go with them. So I will put that in there for right now. I'll put it here so I won't lose it. But that will go in that box right there. They don't have labels on them, but I know what's in every one of those because I use them all the time. But I think that's going to be it for today. I got that wet right there with the rag. But oh, I know. I didn't put my mouse pad back over here. By the way, I just got that all wet. I wiped off my mouse and my mouse pad and the chairs, and everything got wiped off. I'll put that back down on the floor. I even wiped off the baseboards, and I wiped off my angel wings. I found a place to put the steel, and I have a place to put the books I'm reading now. And I also found a way to get the wires and the surge protector up off of the floor. Yeah, I need to dust this. It's pretty bad. I'm going to move the basket off. You know, I don't like moving things to dust, but I'm going to move the basket off, dust that completely, and then put it back. I did a little more dusting, straightened some things up, and I vacuumed all these little things up out of the floor. I'll do some more shredding pretty soon. But for now, this is my tiny tidy. Let me know down in the comments if you did a tiny tidy along with me. Till next time, happy decluttering. Bye. If you start a tiny tidy, but you don't get completely done, and you do more a few days later, does that still count as one? Does the time a tidy takes mean it is or isn't tiny? And does it really matter if it's small or big or mighty? Do we dare compare the value of a tidy to its size? Or should every bit of progress be worthy in our eyes? Next time you tiny tidy, take a moment, size it up. You'll see, no matter what it is, it will always be enough. There's my bubby. Did you get your tiny tidy done? Did you get your tiny tidy done today?